Good morning, El Paso, Texas. This is Ruben Rios from Conserving 915 and your conservative candidate for Texas District 16. Hey, listen, it's New Year's Eve. I hope you guys are getting ready to spend some time with your family and do all those fun times people do during New Year's. I just wanted to make a quick video to close out the year on some things that I found pretty interesting recently. So I'm gonna post a video of Escobar's video on one of the local news outlets. I got a notification. I think it was Channel 9 or Channel 7, one of those two. But anyways, so I listened to her interview, and she comes out as very, very worried about the people that are being detained right now for their immigration status. And I just want to make something very clear. No one in this world, I think, takes pride in people being detained. So one thing she fails to mention is that these people are being detained because she put him in this position along with Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. They put him in this position. I always remember the Biden debate before he became president, when he said it very clearly. When I become president, I encourage everyone, or I forgot the exact words, but he said something to immediately surge the border. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's really weird. That's unpresidential. That's not a true president, a true presidential candidate. A presidential candidate might say something along the lines of, you know what, we this is the best country in the world. This is the greatest place to live in and be a part of. I urge everybody that wants to come over here and become an American to do it the right way, to be presidential and say something like that, not to act like a king and say, you know what, immediately surge the border, break all the rules of the country I'm trying to represent. That's very, very unpresidential. I just couldn't believe that. So I mean, I know the left is usually reckless and does things like that, but this one really, really threw me for a loop. So yeah, so like I said, those women that Escobar interviewed, of course they're not happy. I don't think anybody, in whatever conditions you're in, is happy to be detained. People want their freedom. They don't want to be there. But unfortunately, Escobar and the Democrats put those people in that position to be detained, because there's a right way to come in here and do it properly. And when we all know this is a nation of immigrants. From everybody's here. Everybody that's here is, we're a nation of immigrants, whether it was your grandfather, great grandfather, whatever. But we're also a nation of laws. So I just wanted to make that point, and just a lack of accountability from Escobar. She's also complaining about how much that facility is costing, and I was thinking, well, if your president wouldn't have been so reckless, that facility would not be needed, So, and another point that Biden should have made, instead of telling people to search the border, he should have said, you know what, this is the greatest country. As a president of the United States, I'm responsible for the safety of this country. So everyone needs to be properly vetted before they come in. And also to ensure that when you make it in here, you don't have to worry about being detained. You don't have to worry about hiding, So that would have been the presidential thing to do, to urge people to do things correctly, to do things by the book. That way we wouldn't be spending money on facilities that which worries Escobar so much, But unfortunately, you have to take accountability, and you put people in that position, and you put taxpayers in that position to have to pay for a facility like that. And another thing that I would like to point out, Escobar, you're so worried about waste, fraud, and abuse. You need to look at what your buddies are doing in Minnesota, Omar and all them, and you could say, well, that's Minnesota. I get paid to represent El Paso. Well, first of all, a couple of issues. I don't think El Pasoans think you're representing them right now. And second of all, you should be insulted that your buddies in the Democrat Party are hoarding a lot of money that could possibly be used in other districts that need it, But unfortunately, when it comes to waste, fraud, and abuse, Democrats are very selective in their enforcement. That's just the way it is. And another thing I would like to address is inflation, because that's a talking point for the Democrats right now. It's a talking point. They keep on pointing out prices are high and this and that. So let me remind you about a couple of things here. Okay, all this inflation was created during the Biden the Biden era, and Democrats admitted this. Their talking point back then was that inflation was transitory. So, that's what they said. It's transitory, meaning that it's going to be for a little bit. It's not going to last that long. So, and then we had Biden during the Super Bowl, one of the Super Bowls, during the commercial. He was behaving like a third world communist dictator or like a king. He decides to come out and tell companies to put more chips in your bag, to put more drink in your juice drinks, or to put more ice cream in your tub, and instead of taking accountability and saying, you know what, I printed a lot of money, whether it's physical money and paper or digitally, and I created this inflation. I made a lot of cheap money. So, it's just the lack of accountability is outrageous. It's amazing. And it's just weird that Democrats will not take accountability. So the point is, so these 4 years of Biden, as far as the economy was disastrous. Like I said, even you guys admitted it, but you made excuses saying it was transitory. So then, so now you got Trump to deal with the mess. Okay, Trump's been in office for it's going to be about a year. You cannot undo 4 years of bad policy in 11 months. You just can't do it. From the beginning, I thought Trump should have been more clear and said, you know what, it's gonna take a while to fix this because it's a big mess to fix. It's a big freight train. It's a big freight train. We have to stop. So Trump should have said, you know what, be patient. It is gonna take a little bit to fix the mess that Biden and the Democrats made. So with that said, I know we're kind of starting to see some prices stabilize. I'm seeing it at the gas pumps. I see some of it at the store. But we do have to admit, you cannot fix 4 years of recklessness in 11 months. There's just no way to do that. It's like if you rack up your credit card and all of a sudden you say, you know what, I'm going to stop using my credit card, and in 2 months you expect your credit card to be balanced. No, you have to undo all the damage. So I'm just I just want El Pasoans to take a look at those points, and these are points. It's not really Democrat versus Republican. These are fair points. These mostly are not opinions. They're fact. So that's one of the reasons why I'm running for Congress. I want to be a congressman for El Paso, for everybody. I want to work for the citizens of El Paso. I want to make this place a better place. I want to bring El Paso to its full potential. I want to do all those things, and hopefully you'll support me and you'll tell your friends about me and share my videos. I'm going to keep this one short, El Paso. It is New Year's Eve. I hope you guys are, like I said earlier, I hope you guys are planning great events. I hope you guys stay safe, make it into the new year healthy, and have a great day, El Paso.